The Trump administration is using Nazi and white supremacist propaganda as their model to recruit a paramilitary force, effectively a standing army on domestic soil for Donald Trump to use. What am I talking about? The over $200 billion Donald Trump is now spending to hire 10,000 ICE agents, 3,000 Border Patrol agents. But it gets worse because Donald Trump has taken all the filters off. He's lowered the age for people to apply from the 20s down to 18 years old. Imagine this, 18-year-old border agents with guns under the control of Donald Trump. In addition, he's cutting the training in half. His Homeland Security Director, Kristi Noem, has gotten rid of all of the investigators that investigate abuse within this organization because Donald Trump doesn't care about that. And he's using, and it's not coincidental, he's using language and imagery taken from Nazi propaganda and from white supremacist movement to get those people to join. And I assure you, if you are a Proud Boy, if you were an Oath Keeper, if you were a Klansman or anything else, or a Jan 6 insurrectionist, those are not going to be disqualifying memberships for you to apply for Donald Trump's standing army. This against the backdrop of a federal judge today who declared and announced for the world to understand that Donald Trump is in the process of standing up a federal police force where he is the chief to use as an occupying force around America, including in blue or only in blue cities and blue states. It's something that he's always wanted. It's something that our founding fathers and framers were always afraid of ever since we departed from England in the Declaration of Independence, where a president as king would have a standing army to use against the American people. I cover it all for you right here on MeidasTouch and on Legal AF. So if you piece all this together, and this puzzle is not a difficult thing to piece together, is you've got Donald Trump federalizing the National Guard, especially in red states and in places that he can control, and in places like California. So he gets control. Let's think of the constituent parts of his standing army, his federal police force on domestic soil, which is unconstitutional and violates the Posse Comitatus Act, as Judge Breyer just declared. But think of the components of it. You've got 10,000 new ICE agents being hired. You have 3,000 Customs and Border Patrol agents being hired. They're being given bounties. They're being given bonus.
This is Elder G again. Now you see that big, beautiful bill that gave